The Italian fighter with a nice salute with the Finnish fighter. This is going to be very, very interesting indeed. Let's see however this goes. So we saw the Italian fighter with some great speed before. Again, quite a nervous start to the fight, to be honest. Some lengthy shots there from the Italian fighter, which could be very, very useful. I think the nice shot to the head there by the Finnish fighter. Although I was about to say that the Finnish is giving away a little bit of distance. And there's some nice movement, very, very fluid movement from this Italian fighter. A nice move down there and going for these lower shots. It's countered by the Finnish fighter, who seems just the less tense of the two fighters. But certainly the speed of the Italian fighter is starting to pay off. Slightly exposed in certain places. Some great lower shots there from the Italian fighter. As they gather a bit of distance between them. Recompose himself, and nice, there's a headshot there. Again, connections aren't quite getting through at this point. They're both very evenly matched fighters. I might give the edge to the Italian fighter. So a nice side, a nice body shot there from the Italian. And again, great movement to get these body shots connecting with the Italian fighter. The Finnish fighter now will have to work quite hard to deal with the speed of the Italian fighter. As you can see, the round is now finished and they go straight to the sword and buckler. But with sword and buckler, it's all about the speed. So I think the Finnish fighter is going to have his work cut out. Still, there were some nice shots from there. After the Italian fighter did a perfect display of fighting. Could have done better in a couple of moments. Testing the armor in preparation for the sword and buckler round. So, as we wait just a few moments for the Moldovan fighter to regain himself, we can't expect him to get straight back into the list after such a short break. But he appears to be the one waiting for his opponent. Okay. And again, you can see the Finnish fighter is keeping his buckler so low. And it makes you wonder if that tactic is going to work. Again, they've got the same difficulty. Each fighter has got the disadvantage of the Finnish fighter being left-handed and the Italian fighter being right-handed. So they're striking at the same point. So it's a question of who's faster in this case, more than ever. It's a nice aggressive style there from the Italian fighter, but he's got some of his shots covered with that buckler. Some nice blows there coming in, and he's gone for the side shot. That's wonderful, and it's worked out with the combination with the headshot. And the marshal calls it. Again, the Finnish fighter has got some good responses to the speed of the Italian, but he's going to need everything he's got. He's going to have to close in a little bit faster. There seems to be a mild height advantage, and we have a very, very fast action fight here between Ukraine and Moldova, and this is absolutely electric. And they are not going to stop right now. They're going straight for the body shots, but the Ukrainian is leaving his helmet open as he was in the first round with the Italian. It's absolutely amazing fight, and the Moldovan is leading him around the list. For me, at the moment, the Moldovan is giving absolutely everything he's got, but the Ukrainian is not giving up. He's giving lots of body shots. The Moldovan leaving himself quite exposed and taking shots to the side there. Again, we go back to the Finland and Italy match. And still, they haven't broken the deadlock here with the sword and buckler. And now it's gone. Now it is over. So I think, again, you can see the Ukrainians tiring there, bowing his head. Both fighters have given it all in the first part. I'm not sure how they're going to get through all 3 rounds. Great shots to the head there from the Moldovan. Into that wonderful Eastern armor that he's wearing. Great shots, and now I don't think the Ukrainians got much response to him. They seem to have ground to a halt, the Moldovan holding back there. Again, they're going to need their speed and their energy for the second round with the sword and buckler. They're working so hard, and again, the Moldovan is leaving himself quite exposed, but he's really hammering down on the Ukrainian's head now. And it has been broken up by the marshals. Absolutely insane fight. And that's what we're here for, that sort of energy and tenacity. So marshals conferring there, but in my mind, the punishment was being dealt out by the Moldovan. Now, the sword and shield, Italy and Finland. Again, some cautious move there from the Italian. Slowly pacing around each other, but again, it all depends on how they're still considering. They're both striking from the same side, so this could cause great complications for each other. They're keeping their guards quite high, but of course, that will only expose their legs. Who's going to take advantage of that? Who's going to find that first? I think if the Italian, he's the faster one, I think he should be keeping his shield high and aiming low. There seems to be, well, perhaps it was indicated by the Finnish fighter there might be a slight breakage of the armor, but it seems to be something which is easily resolved. The Moldovan now preparing for the sword and buckler. Some nice aggressive action there from the Italian fighter. Does take a leg shot there. He's already been exposed, and the Finnish fighter is capitalizing on it. However, I still like the number of headshots coming from the Italian fighter. I think he may have it. You can hear a clean shot there, went straight for the Moldovan. Maybe this is the comeback from the Ukrainian fighter. Again, the Italian fighter coming in for those headshots, not quite connecting. Draws back, takes a headshot from the Finnish fighter, goes for the leg. It's fairly even now. They're both starting to tire. And now they're getting involved in it. And it has been called between the Finnish fighter and the Italian fighter. And what a match that was. Absolutely spectacular. These two battles going on at the moment. Ukraine and Moldova, Finland, Italy have produced some incredible action. And the Finnish fighter has defeated the Italian fighter. An important victory for them. I'll be very, very happy with that. Of course, Finland, one of the fastest developing countries in this sport.
And right now on the list A, we're having Spain fighter 1 versus Netherlands fighter 2.
So Spain and Holland, as Moldova and Ukraine go into the last round.
Italy fighter 3. And then Russia fighter 2 versus Spain fighter 1. Fighters, please get ready.
So some strikes there, some low blows there coming from the Ukrainian fighter. And I think that might be just enough to do it. So I think in this round, the Ukrainian's taken it. He's come back. Again, that speed, he's made it work to his advantage. So one more round remains, the crucial sword and shield. Again, it's difficult to call. Certainly the first round, I would say, without doubt, went to the Moldovan fighter. The second round there, well, you know, I have to say, went to the Ukrainian fighter. Seemed a lot more precise with his blows. I was quite surprised. I thought he wouldn't be without the energy, but he was. So this third, it all comes down to this third round here. I think this is going to be absolutely fantastic to see. And I think they're going to keep going and not let up for anyone. But that's what we're here for. So, still waiting for the Spanish fighter. Spain won. And going into the last round, the sword and shield of this absolutely fantastic fight between Ukraine and Moldova. Like I said before, as we saw, the Moldovan fight has had 2 consecutive fights. Although one of the fights, the first fight was won by a technicality due to a breakage in the Finnish fighter's armor, which was a real pity. sizing each other up. And again, the Ukrainian fighter exposing his helmet there. He's still going for those low points still on the Moldovan. He's got him sussed out completely. He's neither fighter, as you can see there, gets that low shot. Again, goes straight for to the head of the Ukrainian. The Spanish fighter being warned that if he does not present himself in the list, the victory will go to his opponent. And again, you can see both fighters starting to tire now. The Moldovan's sword is totally closed off. He has to break out of this. He does. Strike to the head, another strike to the head. Ukrainian not using the shield to his advantage. Again, taking these strikes to the head is amazing. The Moldovan has identified his weakness. He's not defending his own very well. And the victory and the other match, Spain versus Netherlands, goes to Netherlands on a technicality. Both fighters extraordinarily tired now. There's not much left in them, but they've got to push away. They've got to get out of that clinch and get the last few blows. Both fighters must be absolutely exhausted. They've got their weapons stuck. The Moldovan has no movement. Then you can see where they push against the list there. And so a great headshot there from Ukrainian. Maybe he's bringing something back. Again, an easy response. Two good responses there from the Moldovan fighter. And the fight has been called. Again, this has been absolutely epic. Great fight there between this Ukrainian, who was so fast at the beginning, working away at those legs of the Moldovan, but exposing himself, and the Moldovan responded. The sword and buckler round, we'll have to put that down to Ukraine. He was a lot more precise. He went for those legs. He knew how exposed the Moldovan was. But they must be absolutely exhausted because they put 110% into that fight. So, the winner will be announced at any moment. Whereas in list A, I think they'll have a few extra minutes, as the Spanish fighter's absence means that he forfeited, and therefore the victory goes to the Netherlands. And of course, because that fight never took place, they'll be waiting for the next two fighters, but having fought just a few moments ago, they will concede a couple of minutes of preparation there. However, it needs to move on fairly swiftly. The next fighters for list B will be preparing. You can see that the Italian team are moving towards list A there. Again, absolutely fantastic armor. Let's see, he's putting his armor back on. I don't know if that means there'll be another round, if they've come to a split decision on that. And he's tying his helmet up, so I suppose he must be putting his gauntlets back on. And he is. So, this epic battle is not over yet. The strong Polish fighter prepares to do battle against the Italian fighter now, as the Moldovan replaces his gauntlet and shield. And the Ukrainian gets some well-needed and well-earned rest. And we can see that in list A, the fighters touch their long swords and are about to do battle. And I think this will be very, very difficult for the Italian fighter in terms of the Pole's speed, but in terms of the precision of the Italian, a low blow there, just sizing each other up. That does break a deadlock. Some great headshots there from the Pole. Some more movement. Again, the Italian studies the movement very, very carefully. He's got a very, very difficult guard to break down. A great low shot from the Italian, but a great retaliation from the Pole. As you can hear there, the battle continues, and it is the Ukrainian getting these blows now. Headshots and body shots down to the leg. A headshot there. Again, the Moldovan, you can see here that the Italian goes for the side of the Pole with a good shot and a great counter-attack. Responding very, very well. And again, the Ukrainian's working on the side there. The problem is the Moldovan is doing exactly the same thing now. And whatever's left in these two fighters, I just don't know how they do it. And these two fighters here slowing down. Well, both fights for different reasons for slowing down. These two must be absolutely exhausted by now, my goodness. A true heroes battle, and amazing stuff here. Massive shots there, rapid succession of shots there from the pole against the head of the Italian, who starts work on the side of the pole. So moving back, and I think the time has been called on that round. Again, some sharp work and rapid succession of blows from the pole, as you saw. Again, some points there raised by the team of the Moldovan. You can see that he's tired. But having fought such a battle like that with a round after it, I mean, who could blame him? Incredible stuff, really. Let's see how it turns out. Bizarrely, at the end of each round, these Ukrainians, especially this one, just seem to get their energy back. It's just incredible. And the Ukrainian has won the fight. I must admit, I'm a little bit surprised. But nevertheless, he worked down on the side and found the weakness of the Moldovan fighter.
Next fight, Poland fighter 1 and Italy fighter 1.
Italy 1, Poland 1 will be next. And there we have the weapon drop there from the Italian.
Fighter 2. And then in the fight between Spain fighter 3 and Italy
So,
fighter 1, the technical
again, a massive blow to the head there from the pole. Very, very rapid succession. Great movement and athleticism from this Polish fighter. Absolutely stunning. So for the last part of the sword and buckler, they move in. And exchanging blows. Again, the Italian takes one to the head there at the end, but I'm not sure if it counted. It seemed to be already called. So we move on till the last round. The sword and shield. And again, just need some armor adjustments there. Of course, if you saw at the end of his last fight, the Pole had one or two problems with the elbow protection that he had. Now, of course, he's just taking off the bracer so it can fit the shield. And some tense fighting here from these fighters in the longsword category. Again, reading each other extremely well. You can see in list A, again, 2 Italians in the list now. That's some very, very sharp work there. Excellent evasive work. Good lunges. If you see now, goes in for a shot, blocks it, comes up with a counter-attack, but still takes one on the head. There's some very, very swift moves, however. Blow to the body there. Again, the Italian taking some body shots here. It seems to be quite nimble. Again, Italy have a lot of support here. A lot of people cheering them on. And you can see here, again, the Pole just trying to wear down the Italian fighter, who nonetheless has still come up with an incredible fight. Really working hard on those sides. There's some slightly exposed. In fact, I think in this round, the Pole may have taken a few more hits than in his first fight. And you can see the fatigue there hitting the Italian. A nice leg shot there. Straight to the head. This Pole is a force to be reckoned with. He's lowered his guard completely now. You can see now this Polish fighter, or both Polish fighters, really have something to prove, something to demonstrate. And they've had great levels of success over the years, and more recently, some very, very poignant victories in a competition in Moscow. Certainly the case for the first two that we were seeing.
And with the result, 3-0, the victory goes to Poland, fighter 2.
And as we expected, the victory goes there to Poland. Commiserations to the Italian for putting up a very, very brave effort.
Moldova fighter 3 versus Finland fighter 1.
And Finland, Moldova will be the next in that list.
After that, Argentina 5-2, Netherlands 5-2. Get ready.
And we have the next round of this bout between Poland and Italy. So, the Pole there, just adjusting his buckler for the best comfort. Touch the swords and prepare for a bout which requires great speed. Some nice block there from the Italian. Takes a headshot, however. And some great elusive moves from this Polish fighter. However, they're still even, and there it is. It's been called. I think the last blow was dealt to the Italian there, but I can't be sure. The marshal certainly saw it, though. Let's have a look here. And yeah, there's a blow there, and it did come from the Pole. However, you can see the speed of this Italian fighter. You get the impression it's not his first tournament. Just moving around now, and you can see the composure of this Italian fighter. So relaxed, reading what's happening. A nice shot then, a great advance there from the Italian fighter. And the Moldovan, who we saw do so well, you can see here, that great advancement there from the Italian fighter. Moves so well, comes up with a shot from overhead, absolutely stunning. What a fantastic Italian fighter. And really, the Italians are proving formidable with some of these one-on-one fighters. It is so impressive. This, of course, is not this fighter's first tournament at the Battle of the Nations. Some swift moves there again. But both fighters are really holding it up. This one's going to be a close call. Meanwhile, on the other side, you have the Moldovan against the Finnish fighter there. And I think the Finnish fighter's having some difficulty working on the speed of that Moldovan, which we saw before in the fight against the Pole. Some great shots there. Nice combinations coming from this Moldovan, but the Finnish is testing him all the time, pushing these little shots out, provoking them, trying to catch the Moldovan off his guard. However, the guard's not going very far. Again, some nice work there from the Moldovan. But it's a good position, and then the Finnish fighter backs away there. Some good defensive shots with the sword by the Finn. However, backed into a corner, you can see here, great shot to the head. It's defended, and the counter-attack is sharp as anything. Great work there from the Moldovan. This is a very, very precise fight. So a slightly sloppy work there from the Finn, but he's defending very well. And we see here now the third round of this fight. The sword and shield. You can see there the colors of Iron Tower of Italy. Again, working very, very hard. A specialist, as you can see, very, very good evasive work. Still some crossing strikes there from the Pole, and really making the Italian choose his moments carefully, but he's not giving him many opportunities. Some beautiful work there from both the fighters. Tense and very, very fast. It's got faster and faster. Usually so many fighters are slowing down by this point, but this seems to have got even faster. Carefully reading each other. Again, nice blows there, but again, good defense from the Pole. The Italian, of course, keeping the shield very, very close to him and using the shield as the best protective means. Keeping it close, he never flails the shield. He's very, very careful with it. And I think he's got a very, very good body defense there. He just needs to make sure that he doesn't keep his head exposed. However, the Pole seems to favor these lower shots. Trying to tease him into going for a lower shot. But the Italian's going to have to strike quickly. And I think if he goes for that left-hand side of the Pole, the lower left-hand side, he might come out with some results. But of course, it's easy to say these things when I'm not actually in the list. Get a nice advance there from the Italian. And so a great exchange of blows there. And we go the sword and buckler with the Finnish and Moldovan fighters, whereas the fight between Italy and Poland has come to a close. And again, both countries producing some fantastic fighters. We've already seen the speed of the Moldovan fighters in the polearm categories, and of course
Poland
and Poland has defeated Italy Very, very important victory there. Very, very close fought battle.
Italy 5-2 and Finland.
Yeah, going for some low shots there. The Moldovan knows exactly where to hit, and again, the Finn left himself exposed. I think this left hand is not being used to his best potential. He has the same advantage and disadvantage as the Moldovan. He's got to use that in a better way. So, change of weapons now. They move on to the sword and shield. As you can see there, very difficult, difficult groups, which of course split. That was the list fights rather than the actual groups. You can see there the concentration of this Finnish fighter, who salutes his opponent. It looks like we could be in for another tense fight. Again, Italy too. Once again, we saw that very, very agile fighter whose visor is fairly well open. He's got lots of visibility, and you can see how concentrated he is in his eyes. And there's some great support here coming. You can hear the crowd getting absolutely involved in this, and you can see the fighters aren't letting up. You can see some great shots there, but they're well defended by the Finnish fighter. And of course, even there, in the long sword, massive blows there coming from the Italian. Very, very rapid succession of blows. You can see the tide is setting in with the Finnish fighter and the Moldovan fighter. But this is where the rapid action is. Finland against Italy. Immensely strong fighters there. What a lucky blow to the body there. Slightly exposed. That's the problem with keeping the swords up when you're in a clinch, which was there by a clinch. They're gripping their hilts of the swords together. Again, a few blows to the head. A great headshot there from the Italian fighter. You can see how focused he is in his eyes. Some great work there, working on his opponent. There's some great movement. The Italian is really driving this. Goes for the low shots. Moving some nice combinations, but he is leaving his helmet exposed, so they can't keep it too open for that long. You can see there, and it is called. What an amazing round that was between Italy and Finland. And here we come to the dying moments of this fight between Finland and Moldova. Now, the Finnish fighter incapacitated there. His sword stuck again. A little difficulty with moving the swords, but there's a laugh at the end of it.